Everything is magic.
Everything is magic. Do, 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 do.
Everything is magic. And what's the theme or topic for tonight's show, Angie?
The lunar eclipse.
That'll do nicely.
Indeed.
The lunar eclipse. Fits in as well. We're happy with that one. Right. I'm ready at this end to press the start button.
Yep.
Are you ready at your end to press your start button?
I am ready.
Woo-hoo. Right. I'll do the countdown. Press the start button and it's over to you.
Cool.
3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody. Hello on YouTube if you're here. So far, we haven't got anyone here, but hopefully they'll show up at some point. Okay. So, unless you're living under a rock, you probably heard about this lunar eclipse that's happening. Depending on where you are in the world, so for us in the UK, it's happening tomorrow morning. But obviously, if you are in the States, it's going to be happening this evening, Thursday evening. Yeah. So for us in the UK, if it's clear, you know, it's been a bit cloudy today. Actual clouds with rain and stuff, not fake clouds. So maximum of the eclipse. For us, it won't be a full lunar eclipse, and I'll talk about that in a minute. It's only partial. So the pinnacle of it will be at 6:19 a.m. So if you're up for getting up early, that's the time to get up and have a look. Yeah. Unfortunately, when it's at its full maximum, it will already be below the horizon. It would have set. So, yeah, if you want to, hang on, what page was that? There we go. That's page 2. So if you want to catch it before it dips below the horizon, you'll see some orangeness, for want of a better word. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what a lunar eclipse is, and bits and pieces, the nuts and bolts, if you like. I'm then going to share because we've seen 2 very clear partial lunar. I think they were partial. It looked like they were full, but having done a bit of research, it's what we saw was more orange than red, so I think it was partial. Oh, just knocked my table. Sorry. But still quite magical. So, and then I'm going to pull some cards for the energetics of, what this means, because there's lots of other things going on as well at the moment. We're in a geomagnetic storm. We were in one last week as well, which is why last week was a moo, to put it nicely. So yeah, there's lots of solar stuff going on. Planets are doing stuff as well. If I remember rightly, Venus is retro at the moment. I don't know if Mercury's there quite yet, but yeah, so there's all sorts of planet stuff going on as well. So what is a lunar eclipse? So the physics of it, if you like, it's when the Earth is between the sun and the moon. So they're I'll talk about that in a minute, actually. So basically, the moon is in the shadow of the Earth, which is called, the Earth shadow is called the umbra. Yeah, not umbrella, although it's kind of like that. It's kind of cute, really. So there are different types of lunar eclipse. So for a total lunar eclipse, which is what you'll see in America, and if you're lucky, on the west coast of the UK, if you've got a clear view, you might actually see the full lunar eclipse. Okay. But for a total lunar eclipse, all 3 of those bodies, the sun, the Earth, and the moon, have to be in a straight line. So the moon passes through the darkest part of the Earth's shadow. Yeah. But obviously, lunar eclipses aren't always total lunar eclipses. Just to make things complicated. So this is how I kind of figured that what we've seen, and some of them it was like a big supermoon lunar eclipse, but from what I've gathered, what we saw were partial, not total, because during a total lunar eclipse, the moon turns a very dark red, the color of blood, basically. Why does it turn that color? It's illuminated by light that has passed through the Earth's atmosphere and has been distorted back towards the Earth. So it's refraction, basically. So if you did physics at school, you'll know that if you put a knife in a beaker of water, the knife in the water looks like it's bent. That's refraction. Okay. I loved physics at school, I have to say. I couldn't do maths, but I could do physics because it was applied maths. So I got it. But put me in a maths class and I no, didn't like that. Anyway, I digress. So that's a total lunar eclipse. So a partial lunar eclipse happens when the moon passes through the Earth's penumbra. So that's the outer region of the Earth's shadow. So only a section of it passes through the darkest part of the Earth's shadow, which is why you get this orange color, this real vibrant orange, which is what and did I get photos? I got photos, and I did actually get, so one of them was on a camping trip actually in June 2017, and to try and take photos of the moon when it's in the eclipse with just a bog standard digital SLR is really challenging, I have to say. But I managed it. They're not perfectly focused, but you get the idea in the pictures. And it was orange as opposed to red. But what I would say is, because this one was a big moon as well, in June 2017. The moon was quite big as well. And then in April 2020, I tried to get video footage of it. And again, it's really tricky because obviously it's dark and cameras and things, unless you've got a super duper, whoopee cushion, camera or video camera, this is quite challenging to take those pictures or video. But they were definitely more orange than red, I would say. So what I think we saw was partial lunar eclipses. So only a tiny section of the moon will be covered by this shadow, even at the maximum point of that partial eclipse. Okay. A penumbral, the other one, the third one, is a penumbral lunar eclipse. So this happens when the moon travels only through the really faint part of the Earth's shadow, or penumbra, the Earth's shadow. Whoops. So this happens when the Earth moves between the sun and the moon, but they're not in a straight line. Okay. So it only causes a slight darkening of the moon. So the moon is still exposed to some direct sunlight. And I am wondering if that's when we see, I haven't put those together yet, when we see the quite golden, that really golden color of the moon. I'm wondering if that's what that is, but I don't know for sure. So yeah, tomorrow, yes, for us in the UK, we will see a partial lunar eclipse. So almost all the moon will be in the Earth's umbra, the Earth's shadow, yeah, or the shadowiest part of the Earth's shadow, for want of a better word. So it begins. It actually lasts quite a long time. It's a couple of hours. So it begins at 3:57 tomorrow morning, if you're up for that. But like I say, that it'll reach before the moon sets. You'll see the maximum of it at 6:19 a.m. So yeah, if you can get to a high point, or you've got a clear view from the west, you'll see more. I mean, around here it's quite built up, so chances of us seeing it just before it sets quite limited, I'd imagine. However, in the UK, on the 7th of September this year, we will have a total lunar eclipse. And that is actually happening in the evening at 7:33. That's the maximum part of it. And it begins. Sorry. Yeah, it would have set by then, because the moon sets at. Maximum will occur at 7:33 from the UK, with the eclipse's actual maximum at 7:11 when the moon is below the horizon. Okay. So it's rising. Okay, I get you. So again, you might want to find a high point with a clear view to the east. So we've actually got a little hill that we can go up if we wanted to see that. But yeah, we do have a total lunar eclipse on the 7th of September this year in the UK. Yeah. And this is during what they call eclipse season. So I think there's a partial solar eclipse. It's either the end of this month or the beginning of next month. I can't remember. So although we can't necessarily, so from a magical perspective, although we can't necessarily see them with our eyes, yeah, we can certainly tap into the energy of these astrological bodies, get the right word, through meditation or ritual, however you want to do that. And we'll get into the energies when I pull the cards. And if anyone wants to pull cards alongside, definitely do that. Okay. So a lunar eclipse happens between 2 to 5 times a year. Total lunar eclipses are every 2 to 3 years. So obviously it depends where you are in the world. They don't happen every month, unfortunately, because that would be amazing. So this is to do with the orbit, the moon's orbit, and the Earth's orbit, and the relative between the two, if that makes sense. Because as the moon travels around the Earth, it kind of moves up and down in its orbit. It has a waveform, if you like. So this lunar eclipse is, I think this one's a couple of hours, but it can be up to 5 hours, depending on certain conditions. So total lunar eclipses apparently are much rarer from one particular location. Yeah. So, like I say, if you're in the UK, I mean, I think the last total lunar eclipse, I did have that on my notes, but I don't think no. I think it was in 2023, I think. I'm not sure. So although they're happening all the time, so to speak, if you're in the UK, you'd only see one every 2 or 3 years. Yeah, if that makes sense. So the one we saw in Hassocks, that's where we were at the time when we saw this. What I'm guessing is a partial lunar eclipse. It was a supermoon because the moon was absolutely massive. And that was in 2017. Now, years and years and years ago, God, Henry must have been about 8, a long time ago. Nearly 20 years ago, in fact. I was down, where was I? I was down on the coast, Margate Way. And I was outside and I turned around and the moon, I mean, I didn't have my camera on me, which was real. At the time, I didn't have one of these super duper phones. The moon was humongous. It really was, because it was on the coast. You could see it. It was amazing. So that is a supermoon. Yeah. It's when the moon is at the closest point to the Earth in its orbit. So it makes it look bigger. I mean, this was huge. I was astounded as I stood there with my mouth open like that. Do you know what I mean? So it's a bit like the word blood moon, because that's, from a metaphysical perspective, the word supermoon and blood moon, they're not astrological terms. But yeah, I don't know, it just adds a little magic, does it not? So this lunar eclipse, sorry, any lunar eclipse, is called a blood moon, because of the color that it goes, which in itself is quite interesting, because it goes this deep kind of like color of blood, like a coppery red color, which is the color, is it not, of, well, it's what iron, it's the color of iron, that rusty red color, which obviously has associations with Mars, but also that conduit to the other world, the underworld, whatever world you want to go into. Iron is a conduit for that. So it has this very liminal quality. The moon has a liminal quality anyway, but this is a blood moon, and it's it happens on a full moon anyway, but it's like super, what's the one I'm looking for, amplified. Yeah. So I have to wonder, because of these particular, what they call eclipse seasons, so you get it March, April, September, October. Yeah. When you think about it, from an ancestral point of view, from how our ancestors would have marked those changes of the astrological bodies, yeah, astronomical bodies, sorry, or astrological, who cares, it's only a word. They would have marked those, and they would have marked these extra special ones like a blood moon, yeah, So when this at this time of the year, think about what they would have been doing. Yeah. So this is my theory on why it's called a blood moon. Yes, it's the color, but I have a feeling it's also to do with, what would have our ancestors been doing at this particular time once they, were growing crops and stuff, and they were, really paying attention to what was happening around them in nature. Yeah. So, it's the ground is thawing out. Yeah, it's still a bit chilly, but they would have been preparing the soil, would they not? Part of that would have been, some kind of sacrifice. So it doesn't necessarily have to be blood, but it could have been. It is said that that's one of the things the Vikings did. They sacrificed an animal, and they, it's no different to using blood and bone as fertilizer for the land. It's no different. Yeah. Just because we don't, do it the way they used to do it doesn't mean it's any different. So really, people are still doing it. So, that's my kind of theory, that it's not that magical term isn't just about the color. It comes from way back, when our ancestors would have been very connected to nature and the soil, the very soil which brought them, sustenance. So that's my theory on that anyway. Other things that can affect the color of the moon when you're viewing the total lunar eclipse more than anything is things like dust in the atmosphere, which blocks out like the blue light waves. It does allow the red light to still come through, but it would change the color. And how do I know that? Oh blimey, when was that? That was, remember when that volcano erupted in Italy, and this was way before 2020, and they stopped all air travel. Do you remember that? And all of a sudden the skies were clear, because that's when I realized there was a correlation between planes in the sky and clouds. I'm like, hang on, what's going on here? Boom. I don't know if any of you remember, but the moon appeared to be a different color. And that was during the summer as well. So not eclipse season. Yeah. It turned the moon, because of all this volcanic stuff that was in the air. It turned the moon a funny color. I don't know if you remember that. So that's just a little bit of, nuts and bolts, if you like. So I suppose my experience of seeing partial lunar eclipse, I don't know.
You lost your audio there, Angie.
Did I?
Something, or unplug your battery or something, or change your Wi-Fi.
No. Can you hear me?
Just wait for Angie to figure out that we've just lost her. Here we go.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yes, thank you. Yes.
That's really weird, because I was still on here. That's it didn't like what I was saying. Okay. So where did I get to? Did I get to the bit about the volcano?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
cool.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So yeah, my experience with the seeing, like firsthand, like in the middle of a field, not quite in the middle of nowhere, but pretty close, seeing this kind of super moon partial lunar eclipse, I don't know, it is pure, it's pure magic, and it does take your breath away. It really does. Which is why I was frantically trying to take photos of it on my poor little digital SLR camera. And then, like I say, the one in 2020, that was June, I think. Let me just check my notes. April. So that was April 2020. So, yeah, it fell in that region of eclipse season, as they call it. Yeah. So I find it quite awe-inspiring. And I suppose, you know, for me personally, it's one of the reasons why, you know,
You've just gone again there.
Blimey.
We've lost you again.
I'm back.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on here. It's really weird. Let me see if I turn that off. Okay, let's hope that that's better.
Yeah, we've just lost you again, whatever you just did then.
Oh, blimey. Am I back? Can you hear me?
Indeed.
Okay.
Yes.
So I was trying to juggle my internet connection. But hopefully this will be a bit more stable. Okay. So yeah, from a witchcraft perspective, a blood moon is, yeah, something quite special. So any witches out there, you know, grab your broomstick, cast your circle, and, you know, tune into this energy, because it's, I mean, the whole color of the total lunar eclipse. I mean, obviously in the UK we're not going to see the whole thing, but yeah, like I say, you can tap into the energy of it. So my suggestion is, because we're also coming up to next month, April is all about Lemuria, and the, you know, worshipping the ancestors basically and contacting them. So the veil will be thin in April. So you can kind of set the groundwork, if you like, for that work with this lunar eclipse through blood. Yeah. So, you know, you can do it with actual blood. You can prick your finger and, I don't know, get a piece of hair and make some kind of not a rope, like it's like a bracelet. So you can make it with a piece of your hair that has your blood on it, and you can get some red and black thread and you can plait it to make a talisman for contacting your ancestors. It's very cool, actually. And if anyone wants to know any more about that, just throw me an email and I'll give you some ideas. But it's, you know, it's I don't know, it's just something quite energetic, like really high energy, especially with the solar stuff that's happening at the moment. I mean, it's just, it's amazing. It really is amazing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my notes down there. I'm going to pull a few cards because I think it's nice to get an idea, have a little bit of a heads up, if you like, as to what the energy is going to be, you know, when we enter this particular phase tomorrow morning. Okay, I've had three cards fall out. Oh well. I'm not sure if the moon is in Aries at the moment, but what is really weird is I have a moon picture, a moon card that has, it's like a blood moon. And it says a fiery climax approaches full moon in Aries. So I'm just going to take a picture for the channel. Because this is, I mean, you know, you can never make this stuff up. I love this. It's amazing.
I pulled 3 swords.
Oh, that's the wrong. No. Right. Thank you. Sorry, it went blurry. Kevin pulled the 3 of swords. Wow. That's pretty mad. We also have meditate and contemplate and step out of your comfort zone. So that tells you everything you need to know as a first layer of what this is going to bring. So you can definitely take that as maybe, you know, if you want to contact your ancestors, or maybe you just want to tap into the energies of this particular, let me just take the photos of this particular moon phase, which is really cool. Meditate and contemplate, and then step out of your comfort zone. I love that. That's really cool.
Then I pulled Knight of Wands out of the Thoth deck.
Wow, fire. I like that. Oh, there we go. Okie dokie.
Hi, Andy. It's Val. I just pulled 2 from the Lyran Oracle.
Okay.
So number 5, Mission Possible, which could be 2 of Swords because it's got 2 really big pillars.
Yes.
And 23, Life is Precious, which is also very beautiful. So the writing is number 5. Mission Possible is you're going to succeed in everything that you do, and Life is Precious says follow your bliss, risk and reward, cosmic upgrade.
Wow.
So yeah.
So yeah, that tells you a lot right there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's because in order to do that, in order to, you know, be open to cosmic upgrades, to following your bliss, you have to step out of your comfort zone. It's just no getting away from that, really. And obviously meditation is part of that. But I just love the fact that we've got this. It's essentially a blood moon on the cards. It's like can't make it up, guys. You literally cannot make it up. So I'm going to draw. Well, we'll see how many fly out of the deck, of the Citadel deck, which is an amazing deck. So that deck that I just pulled those 3 cards from, that's the Moonology Oracle cards. This is the Citadel, a Fantasy Oracle, it's called. Whoops. Okay, so what are the energies of the Blood Moon? Ooh, okay. Ooh. Ooh. So we have three cards again. Oh my goodness. Seizing the moment. Seizing the moment. Seizing the moment. So it's the opportunities. And what's really interesting about that is when we were in the woods a few days ago, we heard the woodpecker again 3 times. So that might be 3 opportunities that are going to knock on your door that this blood moon brings about. Yeah. Oh, and here we go. The chiromancer delivering news. So there we go. There's the opportunities right there. Coming your way. Taking command, the captain, my captain. So are you the captain of your ship? There's like 2 eyes on that one. Look. 2 eyes. And we have hands. We have hands in all of these cards, I think. So let me take photos for the group. Oh, if I can get it right. Boop. Okay, so seizing the moment, seizing your opportunities, grabbing them with both hands. Yeah. Oh, that's the next one. Let me get it right. And then the chiromancer, which is the news. So there will be news about some opportunities in which you can take command, collaborate. So collaboration was on the chiromancer as well. So this is something, an opportunity for working with people, I would say. Okay, so as we are, so that was the Citadel. So the next one is the.
I got the Tower and 3 cups. That's a big change into something good, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. That's really cool. So that's definitely. So the Tower obviously is going to take you out of your comfort zone. And what's interesting is the seizing the moment has a cup in it. The others don't, but yeah, you have a cup in the seizing the moment. So that's really cool. I like that bit of confirmation there. Excellent. So this is the Elemental Oracle, and I do like these cards. I like these cards a lot. So let's see. Oh, we've got one flying out already. Oh, okay. Oh no, that's not, no. That's taking the piss. Excuse my French. Okay, there we go. Okay. Oh, outer core. Fluidity. Oh my goodness. Okay. So these opportunities, this new start, if you like, this new collaboration, brings with it the energy of the element of water, which is all about, you know, that fluid, being the flow, if you like, not going with it, but being it. And what's really interesting, this is the card that I got back in 2021, which from that I kind of extrapolated this idea of fluidic thinking. And what came out of that was the layer system that we've been developing since then. So that's really interesting. So your outer core, which would be, in actual fact, your aura. Yeah. So there is something about this blood moon, and I will ask that question now, actually. Let's take another elemental.
I pulled the 7 of Cups and then the Princess of Discs.
Which is Pentacles, yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Princess being the page.
Correct.
Yeah. And the 7 of Cups, did you say? What's it? 7?
Yes, ma'am.
7 of Cups. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Mountain, clarity. Okay. So this blood moon is going to bring you clarity when it comes to, I suppose, learning to be the being that you truly are, which is not a being that's, we're not in a physical body. Oh, it looks like that, I know. But if you look at it this way, so flip it, So our being is our whole aura. Yeah. The physical body is just something that is part of that, but it isn't that. I don't know if that makes sense. So the being that we actually are is actually not in this physical body. I don't know if that makes sense. But you'll get clarity on it. If it doesn't make sense, you'll certainly get some clarity on it after this. And it might even be that these opportunities that are coming up are actually to do with this idea of fluidic thinking and clarity. Yeah. I like that. And then we have, oh, this writing is so tiny. I think that says fury. Bushfires. So this is a cleansing. So blood moon is obviously is also quite fiery in its color, if you like. Yeah. So you could also say that this, let me just take the photos of those. I didn't take those. Well, I did that one. Okay. That this, there's a massive clearing going on here. I know we say that a lot, but it's literally an ongoing process, stripping away all the stuff that doesn't belong to us, that isn't actually who we are. Blurry. Blurry. Stop it. Okay.
2 cups and the hangman. Wow.
A different perspective. Balance. Balance bringing a different perspective, or a different perspective bringing balance. There we go. That's really cool. I like that. Which is this idea of fluidic thinking and the opportunities for clarity. That's the balance right there. The clearing through the element of fire, which actually no, what we got at the moment with all the solar stuff, that's what it's doing. It's helping us to get rid of this stuff. You know, I was going to say something else there, but I said the word stuff instead. Okay, so I'm going to take a couple of, well, we'll see how many come out from the this is a really cool deck. Oh, they're all back to front and wonky. Hang on, there we go. This is the Urban Crow. This is really cool. I love this deck. It's so nice. Okay, so further clarification on the energies of this blood moon, which is happening tomorrow. Please and thank you. Okay. Oh, got 2 cards. The first one says play. And it's 36, which comes to a 9. Oh, and preparation. Okay, so we have play, which is really cool. Crow's playing. Crows cute and they play. And preparation. So, as Ian reminded me again today, because it's been a funny day today energetically. Clearly the eclipse's energies are coming round a bit quicker than we thought. Is the Hathors, their tagline, if you like, is, you want to play? Let's play. And when you say that, you got to do a little skip. You got to do a little skip when you say that. So whatever there is, the situation coming up, you know, say that. Say it out loud and then do a little skip down the road. You want to play? Let's play. So clearly, through all of this energy, you know, come at it from that aspect, that part of you that wants to play. Yeah. And in that playtime, if you like, you can call it that if you like, you are preparing for, well, you are preparing, I would suggest that you are preparing to step into the idea of, so let me just cover that up with my finger because YouTube doesn't like naughty ladies. There we go. I forgot to do that. Yeah, this idea that, you know, don't be so serious, man. It literally is a game. Doesn't feel like it. I know it doesn't feel like it sometimes. It feels really tough. But that is only a perception which is coming from your perspective. Yeah. So if you're up on the mountain, we have the mountain in here, you get clarity because you can see everything. Yeah. You can see it all. You can see where you've come from. You can see where you're going. Everything. You can see the places that you might have gone, but you decided not to. And if you're in the valley, you get a very different perspective, and it might not be clear. Your perspective, your perception might not be clear because there are so many things that are in the way of you seeing clearly, if that makes sense.
That's funny. I got the 4 cups and the Fool again. Wow, isn't that something?
So what's interesting about that, Kevin, is play is 3 and 6, which is 9, and you just got 0. So endings and beginnings. So I've got the what does that say? Spirit of the Animals Oracle, which is a really nice deck actually. Big old cards, but they're really nice. So let's see what the animal spirits. Ugh, big cards. Ugh, I need bigger hands. Woo! Okay, so we've got, what have we got there? Oh, okay. Let's take that one as well. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we have the Wolf, Pathfinder. So what is all of these cards that I've pulled, yeah, basically is one thing, which is your path. However you do your path, you know, this, you know, these cards that I've pulled, and, you know, we know it's not one size fits all. We know it's each individual on their journey, you know, in each one of us being a drop in the ocean. Yeah. So essentially it's your journey, but we're all on the same journey. All paths lead to expansion of consciousness, essentially. But the other card I've got, so all paths, and I'll share these with the group in a minute, all paths lead to greatness. Let me take a photo because this is amazing. Oh my goodness. You cannot make this stuff up. I love it.
I pulled the Magician and the Prince of Cups out of the Wild Unknown Tarot. I pulled a different deck out.
The Magician. Yes. Wow. Which actually tallies with the Wolf card. I love that. That is so cool. I'll read them in a minute. I'll read out what they say. So, the Wolf, Pathfinder. Release your past and start a new journey. So, Okay, how do we do that? So I don't know if any of you have heard of RJ Spina. Brilliant guy. His story is quite incredible. But one of his things he says, and I love this, he said, imagine you're an alien, you've just arrived here, you've got no past, no future, just this moment right now. Brilliant. Love that. So one of the things we're doing a lot of work around that kind of thing at the moment. Like, how is the past, kind of screeching through, if you like tires screeching, not screeching, although it's kind of the same. How is the past coming through us and projecting our future? Because if you're not careful, that's what it does. And there's lots of this is the path of self-inquiry. This is the wolf. Yeah, release your past, and you can release it however you want to. You can do it in meditation. You can do it as a ritual, like cord cutting or burning things. It's amazing. Write things down and just burn it. Yeah, just burn it. It's very cathartic. And what we have back here, fire. Yeah. So if you like using fire in your magic, it's a good time to do it, especially on the blood moon. Yeah, release your past and start a new journey. You are a teacher and help others find their way. There will be challenges, but your soul is strong. That's the magician there, Kevin. Perseverance is your secret power. That's also the magician. You have a love that endures. That's also the magician. So quite amazing. So your path is to greatness, the elephant. And it ties in perfectly. Love is your strength. Yeah. Leadership is your path. Okay. Just stop there. 1 second. Leadership, the captain. Ta-da!
I have a photo from Savannah, or a painting from Savannah. It's called Empress the Elephant. I am Empress.
Oh,
I am
wow.
the spirit of divinity that shines within one's eyes. I am the mother, the protector, and the guardian. Though I am the youngest, my magic of healing and beauty has no bounds. I will always protect you. And there's a beautiful painting of an elephant there.
Oh, wow.
Nice, eh?
That's amazing. Leadership is your path, captain. Yeah. Your wisdom inspires everyone you meet. So again, that's the magician. Yeah. You can overcome any problem. Obviously that's the wolf, but you also have seizing the moment. And there was another one. Play. Yeah. My favorite saying is, when I come up against an obstacle, there's always a workaround. Always. And it's fun finding the workaround. It's fun finding the workaround. Yeah, it's a bit annoying sometimes, but that you have to find a workaround, but it's still fun finding the workaround. You will naturally and easily achieve success. The elephant corresponds to the root chakra. Yeah. Ganesh corresponds to the root chakra. So what is Ganesh all about? Ganesh is all about moving through obstacles to clarity. Yeah. So let me find that card. Moving through obstacles. Mountain is the obstacle, but it's also the place where you get clarity. Yeah. So the mountain is kind of a double-edged thing, really. It's an obstacle that might be in your way, but it's also a place where you can get to high ground and get clarity from. I love that. There's so much here in these cards. It's amazing. Yeah. So to sum up, so this blood moon, the energy of this blood moon is definitely one of amplification of your path. So it's going to illuminate your path, but in a different way. So I would definitely say that's definitely, you know, if you want to, go and connect with your ancestors in whatever way, shape or form you want to. And because the elephants, they, if I remember rightly, elephants are also big on their ancestors, if I remember rightly, through watching many wildlife programs through my adulthood and childhood. Where was I going? So this blood moon is a preparation to continue on your path or begin your path, which will bring up opportunities for taking the reins. That's the Chariot right there. Stepping out of your comfort zone, coming back to meditation, coming back to center when you need to, using the element of fire if you need to get rid of anything. Because it's a blood moon, I would say it would work a little bit like a dark moon, but that's just me. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now, and if anyone else wants to kind of tell me if they pulled any other cards or what they felt through that.
My last card I pulled was a 3 discs, but it looked like a pyramid. The card had a pyramid-looking thing, but each disc was at a corner of the pyramid, but it looked like an orange sun. Each disc looked like an orange, almost like a blood-colored sun. Imagine that. Eh?
Oh, wow. That's really cool. That is really, really cool. I love that. Wicked. Anyone else? No? Can you still hear me? I hope
I was just sorting the cat out. Make the day to the blooming dog. Will you pull me a card, Angie? Do an energy focus and pull me a card, please, on health.
Okay.
If you can.
I shall pull you one from the crow. Do you like crows, Andy?
I have 2 crows that have adopted me since I've started feeding them chicken wings.
Oh, there we go. 2 cards fell out. Freedom and Ghosts. So.
And I pulled Ace of Wands, so that's looking good.
That's interesting.
That's good. Yeah.
So I would say, so I'll take pictures of them so you can, hang on, won't let me, what's going on here? That's being very strange. My phone is being weird. Okay, there we go. So I would say these 2 cards. So for me, what this is telling me is if there is something health-wise that was in the family that when I say has been passed on to you, I mean through talking about it, and then, you know, we kind of go, oh yeah, because I have that myself. Both sides of my family have had different health issues, and it's like I have to be really careful not to get pulled into one or both of those. Do you know what I mean? So if there was something, or there is something that health-wise that has you have been told that, oh, you need to be careful about that, if you can find a way through this blood moon to, and what's really interesting is the crow in the freedom card is carrying something that looks like a blood moon. It's the same color. If you can find a way to, even if it's I don't know, writing it down on a bit of paper, like writing it down on a bit of paper and burning it, it's so cathartic to do that kind of work. Or however, you know, you kind of work your magic, Andy. This blood moon is the perfect time to release that thought form. Does that make sense?
It does. Yes, indeed, it does. Thank
you. Cool.
As the eclipse starts and finishes, just let whatever could be discordant go with the shade of the sun. I mean the Earth going across the moon. And when it's gone, back to full moon, it's gone. It's like a fading away, right?
Yeah, because essentially what the moon is doing is it's passing through shadow. So its illumination is it's like a dark moon. That's essentially what it is. So that's a really good time to, you know, banish. So it's a small window, but essentially, yeah, you're right, Kevin. Once it passes through, it's then gone. You're allowing it to leave, and you are again illuminated. So whatever it is that you are banishing, what then fills that space, you can set that intention as well, which relates to fire. So the solar stuff, the stuff that we're made of, you know, this golden light, neutrinos, whatever you want to call it, it looks like it's the color of fire. So allow that. I don't know if that makes sense. Allow that illumination to then, you know, bring you back to, you know, a whole being that you are. Does that make sense?
It does.
I'm very glad about
that.
that.
Passes away of the eclipse, the full illumination of you know, everything is brought to light, whatever it is.
Yes. There you go, Kevin. You said it much better than I could. I was stumbling over my words there.
Well, if nobody else has got any questions or wants to ask anything or ask you to pull a card, do you want to say a few final words, Angie, and we'll wrap up the recording?
What would I like to say? What would I like to say? Well, you don't have to do any of this if you don't want to. That's what I would say. But what I would say is this is a very powerful time. So if you want to tap into the energies of this blood moon, lunar eclipse, whatever you want to call it, then, you know, but if you're not sure how to, just drop me an email, or, you know, I'm on Telegram, you know, come go, oi, Angie, what can I do? Yeah. Cool.
Right, I've stopped it there.
Okay.